Hello everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from Eduard. This is a limited edition kit and it is dedicated to the famous P51D Mustang. It's a recent release from Eduard in 1/48 scale. And now we have a limited edition which is named as a very long range, Tales of Iwojima. And here we have a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. We are going to open it, check what is inside, and of course decide whether it is worth spending your money on. So first of all, box size here is typical. I would say it's standard for all 1/48 scale kits from Eduard. Here you can see comparison with my hand. Box art looks quite interesting. Here on the side we have 12 marking options depicted on one surface. So all these markings are included and you will be able to replicate them. And as far as I remember, this is not a dual combo. I do not see any mention of this, so I guess there is one kit inside and you will be able to copy only one marking option out of these 12 options. And if you want to copy more, of course you will have to get some over trees plastic so-called set, which is also sold by Eduard. So here you can see list of the features. We have plastic from Eduard, obviously. We have also cover P and masks. We have resin wheels and, just give me a second, rocket racks, and also metal pin inside. That should be interesting. So just like previous limited edition with BF 109, here we have another pin which is for, just give me a second, for 78th Fighter Squadron. So here what we have inside, as you can see, there is, I would say, relatively enough space for everything what is supplied in this kit. And I would like to start with small pin because for me it is a really interesting feature and we discussed it in the comments on the German kit video. It would be cool to see a whole series of such pins which will be collectible. Here you can see another one, because I mean, I like the design and of course all aviation fans will appreciate such bonus in their collection and maybe even place it somewhere where it will be noticeable. So definitely that's a nice bonus, which is really cool. And now we are going to start with plastic, and in the meantime let me remind you that you can support us financially and we really need your help. Some of you already helped us. And we have special red support button on our website. Link will be in the video description below, so you just click it, choose the amount you would like to donate us, and all this money will be sent to us via PayPal, and they will be used for new photo and video equipment, or maybe for some fresh kits which will be reviewed in these videos. So here you can see first plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to wing parts. And I would say overall wing design is typical to what we saw in P51 kit from Eduard. It means we have separate wing mechanization, we have nice recessed panel lines and rivets in some necessary spots. And of course you can upgrade these with resin, for example ammo base. You can also use some P parts, but in my opinion out of the box kit looks really great, so it's a matter of your personal preferences if you would like to get more, or you're enough, or I mean it is enough for your taste and you don't want to spend extra money. So here inside you can notice guiding pins. They will be handy for easier alignment because these are quite big parts, even though this is 1/48 scale. Here you can see comparison with my hand. So wingspan should be quite noticeable on the finished model. Don't underestimate it. And now we can move on to the next plastic sprue, so just give me a second. That's a clear plastic sprue which is packed into the separate plastic bag. Here it is. So here we have canopy parts obviously, and overall design will help you build the open cockpit on your model as well. And molding quality seems to be fine, and this is a limited edition kit, so we have masks included, so you don't have to be worried about any I would say additional procedures with masks. Everything is supplied here and ready to be used, so we can place it aside. And then we have another plastic bag, so just give me a second. Okay, so here we have first of all this plastic sprue with fuselage halves, and here I would like to zoom in a bit because some of you complained that it's not enough what I'm showing in the video. So here you have a closer view, we have recessed panel lines and rivets, and again we have here a cooling panel pre-molded. You can notice that on the top we have some pre-molded details as well. Here we have another fuselage half, again it is molded together with tail fin and molded together with cooling top section. Everything looks fine in my opinion, and if we flip it over here inside, you can notice we have some guiding elements for internal elements or parts, and of course for these two fuselage halves when they will be combined together. Okay. Next we go on with fuel tanks. These come on the separate plastic sprue. We can zoom out a bit. I would say original plastic fuel tanks are fine. There is also a resin version or option available if you would like to spend more. Of course it looks better, but it will cost some extra money. And here inside you can notice that we have guiding pins which will help you align these two halves together, and overall assembly process shouldn't be difficult in my opinion. Next we continue with another plastic sprue, this one again bigger than what we saw before. So here we have mix of various parts. We can zoom out a bit, and now you can notice that here we have various parts for main wheel wells. We also have parts for landing gear parts or panels. We have parts for the air intake, and here as well. Note that frontal section is molded as a single piece part, which is really cool. The same applies for the front nose air intake cover. Here we have also exhausts and tires. So each tire should be glued out of two halves, and obviously you can replace them with resin parts which are included here, and I would suggest doing so because all resin parts should be way better in appearance than what is offered here in plastic. It's not to say that plastic is bad, it's to say that resin is more detailed than original plastic. Here we have more parts, so you can notice that propellers or propeller blades, they're attached on one attachment point. That's why it is slightly bent here, because it was combined together with other sprues. And also here we have some cockpit parts, so cockpit walls, the rear armor wall. Here we have cockpit floor, several types of the instrument panel, and also propeller hub. And everything looks fine, even the thinnest parts. For example, here you can see control stick. So it's just a matter of careful painting, and of course cockpit will be enhanced with help of PE parts which are supplied here, or you can get an additional resin upgrade set which will completely replace original plastic, but obviously it will require some extra skills because, I mean, it will be a full resin cockpit, and definitely you will have to have some experience behind your back. Here we have last gray plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to external equipment. Here we have various missiles, bazookas, also fuel tanks, several types, and everything looks fine. It's really cool that we get it out of the box. You won't have to spend extra money, so some modders will be happy to see this. And obviously you won't use everything out of this set, so some of these parts will go into your spare parts box and might be used for next project. So that's also quite a cool feature. Now we move on to resin parts. So resin parts are supplied in form of this resin bases. So what we have here is landing gear wheels and also these parts. As I said, you will notice that resin wheels are way better than what we saw in plastic, because they feature also tire wall detailing, and it's just a matter of careful painting and weathering. And as long as we have masks included here, it should be fine. So now we are going to check which masks are supplied here. Just give me a second, because masks are packed into separate plastic bag together with unpainted PE thread, and frankly speaking I'm not sure whether it will be used, maybe for missile racks, maybe, or maybe not. So here we have masks. So they're pre-cut and they might be used with wheels, as you can see, so don't be worried about one piece design of the wheels. Here we have PE parts which are not pre-painted, and that's really cool because you will be able to cover them in whatever paint shade you would like to. And next bonus is the pre-painted PE thread. This one will be handy for interior detailing, because here we have, for example, instrument panels, seat belts. Just give me a second to take it out. And also we have glazing on the dials, just like on the previous products from Eduard, so it copies glass on the dials, just like on the real aircraft. So it's really cool feature, and you won't have to spend time with clear lacquer in order to get the same look as what you see here. Now I'm going to open another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to Decals sheets. Just give me a second. Actually, there is only one Decals sheet, but it is quite big, but it is surprisingly small for 12 marking options, to be honest. I was expecting it to be bigger. That's not bad, but it is surprising. So let's zoom out a bit. Now you should be able to see it. So here we have Decals sheet, which is printed in Eduard. We have segmentation for each marking option, which is also quite handy feature. We also have decals for the cockpit if you would like to use to, but it would be really strange. Here we have stencils, and again, as I said, printing quality looks great. So it's just a matter of careful application and you will have a really nice result. Now we are going to move on to the assembly manual. So here it is. Printed in form of typical Eduard brochure, so it is printed in color. Let's open it. Here on the first page we have foreword by Brian Walters. Next we continue with parts map here, and assembly process starts with cockpit obviously. Then we continue with installation of the cockpit into the fuselage halves. We assemble main wheel wells, then we close wing halves, and next we join everything together. Then we install the tail surfaces. Here we assemble the instrument panel, surprisingly, and then it gets inserted into the cockpit, into the assembled fuselage, which is, I would say, quite an unusual sequence for aircraft assembly. Some modelers will be surprised. Here we continue with tail, landing gear, leg, and also some air intake parts. Here you can see some front detailing parts, and small P parts will be used as well, so be ready for this. For example, this small bit will be possible to install only with help of tweezers, because I can't imagine installing it with bare fingers. Here you can see masks, application guide for landing gear wheels and also for canopy. And on the next page we go on with installation of the wing mechanization such as flaps, and also we get to install the landing gear wheels with legs. Then we continue with exhausts, and here we assemble propeller. Then you get to choose whether you want open or closed canopy on your aircraft, and here we choose between several types of external fuel tanks and maybe missiles. So first marking option comes from summer 1945. I guess they will be all from this period. So here you can see another one. It is from February. Surprisingly, this one is from August 1945. Here we have another one, summer 1945, May 1945. And I think you recognize the emblem. Next we continue with summer 1945, July 1945. Here we have March, then we have July, August. And frankly speaking, I am surprised that all these colorful versions were used on the same theater. As you can see, for example, this will be an interesting choice to replicate in 1/48 scale. And here we have 12th marking option, which is from July 1945 with this yellow tail section. That's aluminum lacquer painted areas, so that you get the right paint work on your aircraft. And next we have stencils application guide on this aircraft. There are plenty of stencils to be applied, but don't be lazy, apply them all, and your aircraft will only benefit from such addition. So as I said, this kit should be already available on official Eduard website. You can get it directly there, together with some other limited editions in the same scale. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!